Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's explainer. You know, if you've ever just grabbed a sweet treat in the grocery store aisle without giving it a second thought, well, you might be totally surprised by what's actually under the wrapper. Today, we're unpacking some seriously unexpected candy facts derived from Zach D films that show us exactly what is going on behind the scenes of our absolute favorite treats.
So what secrets are hiding in your candy? It's definitely a question worth thinking about, because the everyday treats we completely take for granted actually hold some pretty bizarre hidden histories and honestly fascinating physical anomalies. We're going to count down 3 incredible facts that reveal the hidden reality of the candy aisle.
Number 3. Snickers and the British translation.
Get this, for over 60 years, 6 whole decades, the candy bar that the rest of the world knew and loved as Snickers survived under a completely different name in the UK. They called it Martha. I mean, just imagine a global brand willingly operating their flagship product under a totally rebranded name for an entire nation for that long. Think about the massive logistical effort, not to mention the marketing dollars spent maintaining 2 entirely separate brand identities for the exact same chocolate bar.
Which begs the question, why avoid the name Snickers? Like, why on earth would a massive global candy conglomerate be so terrified to use their world-famous brand name in a major English-speaking market like the United Kingdom?
Well, the answer? Knickers. In Britain, knickers is a super common term for ladies' underwear. And unfortunately for those executives, Snickers rhymed perfectly with it. They literally changed a world-famous brand name to Marathon just to avoid a slightly embarrassing rhyme. It perfectly illustrates the absolute absurdity and, the high stakes of international marketing.
Moving on to number 2. M&M's versus the competition.
So let's take a trip back to the 1950s. Fueled by a post-war economic boom, candy aisles were exploding rapidly. The market was exploding. And with more products flooding the shelves than ever before, M&M's realized they needed a highly unique way to really stand out. While establishing their visual identity, they faced a very specific problem that kind of forced their hand.
Picture this. On one side, you have M&M's, and on the other, a very similar candy called Smarties. M&M's didn't want any confusion whatsoever about which product you are actually consuming. So what did they do? They instituted that iconic M stamp. It wasn't just for decoration. Actually, it was a deliberate, highly calculated defense mechanism so consumers knew exactly what they were buying and wouldn't accidentally purchase a competitor's product.
And finally, number 1, the Skittles water experiment. As it turns out, the branded S on every Skittle holds a physical secret. Similar to M&M's, Skittles are stamped with a letter to signify the brand. But here's where it gets wild. This little white S behaves very unusually compared to what you might expect from a simple candy stamp. You can literally try this experiment right now in your own kitchen. Step 1, put some Skittles in water. Step 2, watch closely. The S actually detaches right off the candy. And step 3, you can literally watch it float to the surface. It happens because that little white letter isn't just regular dye, it's made of a non-water-soluble edible ink. So while the sugar and food coloring of the Skittle dissolve super quickly in the water, the ink holds its shape perfectly and lifts right off when submerged. How crazy is that?
It just goes to show, candy branding is never an accident. From changing a name for 60 years just to avoid a rhyming mishap, to stamping chocolate to fight off copycats, to engineering floating physical stamps, these candies are the product of highly intentional design choices. Absolutely nothing is left to chance here.
Which leaves us with one final provocative thought. What other everyday foods are hiding secrets in plain sight? Think about it. If a simple chocolate bar or a colorful fruity chew holds this much bizarre history and unusual science, just imagine what else is sitting inside your pantry right now, just waiting to be discovered. Keep your eyes open and keep asking questions.